Hello and welcome to another episode of What's Inside. Today we're looking at the Edition 1 Part 1 Vegalas starter box for Skateboarding Must Die. We do open Edition 1 Part 2 Socalia in a different episode. If you haven't seen that, it's not going to really make much of a difference. These cards... The game requires, I should say, a 30 card deck. You only get 17 in each of these boxes. So you need at least 2 of the Vegalas box sets like this in order to even play the game. So remember that if you're thinking about picking this one up, you're going to need 2 of these. And because they are kind of rare, it's probably going to be fairly expensive. So just keep that in mind if you plan on playing. Same with Socalia, you're going to need 2 boxes. This is only 1. Let's see what's inside of here. These were put out by Stoked. This is Sir Manta Play's Stoked TCG system. Birdhouse stuff inside, collect and flip sequences. So they do have a little tear thing, but it doesn't work very well. So let's see what we've got inside of this one. You get a token. This one is land on one side and bail on the other. Very cheaply made. You can see it's warped over time. Very cheap. The poster, you get a mini poster here. It's incredibly thin paper. Incredibly thin. If you hold it up to the light, you can see through it. Gasoline is cheaper in Vegalas. Obviously, that's a play on Las Vegas. These are from 2005, but this paper, I'm surprised it held up, quite honestly. This is kind of like flash paper, or maybe rolling papers. Very, very cheap. I'm insulted that's even in there. And then, of course, we have our play instruction sheet, which is on one side all rules, and then on the other side we have the turn sequence with the rest of the rules. So at least they show you how the turn sequence, or the cards are supposed to be laid out when you're playing. So let's go ahead and take a look at the cards. On top we've got our money cards. This is Vegalas 1, and on the back you have the actual deck, the back of the cards on the regular deck. So you can keep these face down. There's a turn sequence card, and then there's the Birdhouse card, Birdhouse skateboards. That's just got like a dollar on this one. I don't know the significance of that, and quite frankly, I'm not too concerned with it. But let's look at what kind of cards we've got here. We've got a Pocket Voodoo. Attached to your claim, get +3 kickers per turn. If you have less than 150 stoke, discard Pocket Voodoo and lose 30 stoke. Oh no, losing stoke. Some of these aren't even all in the same direction. That's kind of crap. Next we've got a Wall Ride, yellow sequence. Then we have a 180 Shove It Fake Out. Then we've got a Rent-A-Gangster crew member. Attached to your claim, sacrifice to get +3 kickers this turn. Requires 150 or less stoke to sacrifice. And next we've got a Terrain, the Streets of Vegalas. A City Rail, Terrain. Another Terrain, Casino Gap. Then we've got a stunt card, Undaunted Blunt. Risk 20, dominate when risking 50 or more. Then we've got another stunt, which is a Wall Ride. We've got a crew, Dreaded Shadow. a Rooftop Freedom Park terrain, a gear card, Dusty Beta Flick, attached to your claim sacrifice to bring it in up to 2 new terrains this turn. We've got Tourist Trap, which is another crew. And then lastly, we've got a backside 360 yellow sequence. These cards are incredibly cheaply made. Shockingly so. If you've ever gotten like a $1 pack of playing cards, these are worse. They're super glossy to hide the fact that the paper is really pretty crappy. I've handled a lot of trading cards and not just collectible cards, but trading cards in general, and you can tell that these are very cheaply made. They're trying to dress it up by making them glossy, but they're really poorly made, I think. I don't think they would hold up to shuffling well. I'm even kind of afraid to pick these up like this, but I would get these in protective sleeves immediately if you're going to play. The art's not bad. I'm okay with the art. Just the quality of everything is kind of lazy, and the fact that you only get 17 cards in the box with this kind of cheap rule sheet, which is going to get ripped, and this joke of a poster, I don't think it's worth the money. I said the same thing about the Socalia box. If you're into the art, then by all means pick it up. The gameplay looks fairly simple. I don't think it looks very fun myself. I'm not much into skateboarding. I don't know anything about it. Haven't done it in way longer than I care to admit to, and I was never good at it. But that really honestly has nothing to do with it. I was intrigued by the concept of a skateboarding game, and I think it's got potential as a system. It just doesn't look very fun because I think it's a little overly complicated, honestly. It looks overcomplicated. I'd have to play it, but honestly, I don't really know if I want to invest more money in this. And I've had these sitting in storage for a very long time. These came out in 2005 and I never opened them, so that should tell you. As a retailer, I think they were a waste of money. Looking at them now, I can see why I didn't sell many. I don't even know what happened to the rest of the case, honestly. I might have thrown them away. And I don't think I ever opened any of them before I opened these and the Socalias. But yeah, the quality of the cards is really dismal. The art's okay. It's got that kind of street level graffiti type style, very bright and colorful, but it doesn't save it from the poor quality of the cards themselves. And the fact that you need 2 of these boxes, they seem to go for around $10 per box. And since you need 2 of them, that's kind of expensive for such cheap material. If they had held up better, maybe, but they have kind of a weird funky smell to them too, and that's not from storage. It's just kind of the cheapness of the materials, the printing materials. But it's got a high gloss on there, and it's like a real thin layer of plastic, I think. But it's just too cheap for my standards. But if you like skateboarding, it might be worth checking out if you can find them cheap. I really won't pay more than a couple dollars per box, though. I think the low quality of it is just going to make it too frustrating, and I think the cards will deteriorate very quickly. I don't think these are up to normal collectible card game standards. Definitely nowhere near Magic cards. But even some of the lower, more obscure games, I don't think they're even up to that par. This is a pass for me. I don't think that this is something that I would want to get too invested in. If I can find some more decks in storage, maybe I'll play them and see how the game mechanics work. They look okay, nothing spectacular. The fact that you need so many of these, though, and you have to do the sequencing with the tricks and try and get all the sequences. that seems like a kind of a overcomplication, but it might be okay. Like I said, I'm mildly intrigued by it. I've played the soccer games, I've played the football games, I even played the MLB Hero Clicks type game before, and that was actually kind of weirdly fun, but again, that might have been the people I was playing with. This, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. It's just so cheaply made. The box is the most high quality thing here. This token's stupid. It's just a laminated piece of cardboard and it's warped over time. And that should tell you something about the lower quality of it and the fact that this joke of a poster's in there. You're going to basically hear the exact same thing on the other box, because I'm pretty sure it's going to be exactly the same. So yeah, this is the Skateboarding Must Die Edition 1 Part 1 Vegalas deck. I'm not impressed. Maybe you will be, but for me this is a no. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time on What's Inside.